Sometimes you think you've got the perfect neighborhood, all manicured lawns and friendly waves, until the HOA dragon lady decides you're her next meal. And boy, did she pick the wrong fight with my wife that day? Picture this. We're in Willow Creek Estates, this upscale spot in suburban Ohio where every house looks like it jumped out of a real estate ad. But underneath, it's a pressure cooker of petty rules and power trips. I'm Alex Thompson, just a regular marketing guy trying to keep things smooth with my wife Sarah, who on the surface seems like your typical stay-at-home type, always polite, always composed. But oh man, Linda Hargrove had no clue she was tangling with a state superior court judge who could turn the tables like a pro wrestler in a street fight. It all kicked off one crisp Tuesday morning when Linda comes storming across the street, clipboard in hand, face twisted like she'd just bitten into a lemon, yelling at Sarah about how our SUV was parked 4 inches over the driveway edge, not blocking a soul, just barely kissing the grass on our own damn property. "You owe this association $3,000, missy," she screeches, waving this official-looking fine like it's a warrant. "And if you don't pay up, I'll have the cops haul you off to jail for defying community law. Entitled folks like you think you can ignore the rules, but not on my watch." Sarah just stands there, smiling that quiet smile of hers, and says softly, "Okay, Linda, I'll take care of it." But inside, I could see the wheels turning. She wasn't scared. She was plotting, drawing from years of dealing with courtroom crooks and con artists who thought they could outsmart the system. See, Linda wasn't always this neighborhood tyrant. She'd gotten the boot from the state revenue department after 2 decades of hounding folks over taxes. Too aggressive, they said. Complaints piling up about her bullying tactics. Her need to control every little detail like it was personal revenge for some old grudge. Losing that job crushed her, left her adrift, so she poured all that pent-up rage into running the HOA like her own fiefdom, fining people left and right for nonsense that fed her ego. Her way of proving she still mattered in a world that had kicked her to the curb. Us? We'd moved in 9 months back, thinking it'd be peaceful. Sarah using her maiden name Jenkins at work to keep things private. So to Linda, she was just that fancy wife with the luxury car, a symbol of everything Linda resented, success that came without begging, without clawing through bureaucracy like she had. The small stuff started innocently enough. A $100 slap for planting tulips instead of the approved lilies in our front bed, which Sarah paid online without a peep, shrugging it off as she whispered to me, "Patience, Alex, this is building something bigger." Then the bird feeder we hung was apparently 3 inches too low, another $200 ding, and again she cut the check, all while jotting notes in her journal like she was prepping a deposition. I was fuming, pacing the kitchen. "Why not fight back now?" I'd ask, and she'd just touch my arm, eyes steady. Because real justice isn't a quick slap. It's a slow burn that fixes the rot at the root. What I didn't know was Sarah was already talking quietly to folks around the block. The old widow down the street fined $900 for her porch swing being the wrong shade of blue, or the young family hit with $200 over a kiddie pool that violated aesthetic standards, gathering their stories, their receipts, turning Linda's web of control into evidence of her own undoing, driven by this deep-seated envy of anyone who seemed to have it easy, while she nursed wounds from her firing that made her see threats everywhere. But Linda, mistaking Sarah's calm for cowardice, kept pushing, escalating like she was addicted to the power high. Monday hits, and there's Linda at our door again, grinning like a shark. "A fine's not enough for your attitude, Mrs. Thompson. You're writing apology notes to all 142 homes here, handwritten, admitting how your sloppiness drags down our values." Sarah nods. "Sure, typed her by hand," and Linda snaps back with glee. "Handwritten, to show you mean it. Make 'em personal, or else." So Sarah sits at our table that night, crafting these perfect letters, polite as pie, but photographing every demand, every smug word from Linda, whispering to me, "She's handing me the rope, Alex. Her ego's blinding her to the noose." Tuesday? Linda ups the ante. Now go door to door to the 5 worst affected neighbors, beg their forgiveness face to face. Sarah bakes cookies, actual homemade ones, and knocks on doors, saying humbly, "I'm sorry if my parking caused any hassle," charming the pants off them, turning whispers against Linda into outright gripes, like the vet next door who muttered, "She's fined me for my flagpole angle. Crazy woman." By Wednesday, Linda's dragging Sarah to a compliance seminar in the community hall, lecturing for hours on mailbox heights and lawn edging like it's gospel. Sarah taking notes diligently. But inside, she's cataloging every overreach, Every invented rule born from Linda's bitterness over her lost career. Thursday brings a $1,500 oversight fee tacked on, and when Sarah asks sweetly for it in writing, Linda scribbles it out furiously, detailing threats of lions and evictions, pure gold for Sarah's growing file. Friday, an emergency meeting announcement blasts to every house. Mandatory attendance to address the chronic offender, undermining our harmony. Linda's eyes lit up like she'd won the lotto, thinking this public shaming would break Sarah, feed that void where her old authority used to be. Saturday night, the hall's jammed. 70 neighbors, tension thick as fog. Linda's set up like a courtroom drama, projector humming with slides of our crimes, zoomed-in pics of those tulips, measurements of the parking slip, timelines of defiance that screamed her obsession. "Fellow residents," she booms, voice dripping venom, "this woman thinks her pretty house exempts her from decency. Here's the proof of her entitlement eroding our property values." She demands a groveling apology, the full $4,500 payout, and a year of probation under her thumb. The room hushes, eyes on Sarah, who stands slow, smooths her skirt, and says evenly, "Linda, your presentation's thorough. Impressive work, really. I take full blame for not grasping these standards." Linda beams, but Sarah adds, "Just one thing. Could you write down the legal backing for all this authority? I want to comply properly." Linda, puffed up, grabs a pen and scrawls it out. HOA equals criminal law. Non-pay means arrest. Her word is binding as a judge's. Signs it with witnesses, handing over her own confession without a clue. Sunday dawns quiet, but by afternoon, chaos erupts. Linda calls the county sheriff, Tom Riley, who pulls up confused, siren off, as Linda races over, thrusting papers. "Arrest her, Sheriff. She's dodging a legit fine, stealing from the community. Entitled brat needs a lesson in respect." Sarah stays cool. "I'm happy to pay anything valid," but Linda rages, "Not enough. Cuff her, or I'll report you for ignoring the law." Tom starts questioning, and Sarah's answers drip with legal savvy, due process this, jurisdiction that, until he squints. "Wait, didn't you swear me in last year at the county ceremony, Judge Jenkins?" Boom, the air freezes. Linda stammers, "Impossible, she's just a nobody wife." But Tom straightens. "Your Honor, apologies. I didn't recognize you casual." Sarah pulls her folder. "Sheriff, here's Linda's own words. False authority, harassment, threats to a judicial officer." Neighbors chime in, spilling their tales. The widow's light fine, the family's pool penalty. All from Linda's twisted need to dominate, masking her post-firing despair. Linda crumbles, sobbing, "I didn't know. I lost my job, my everything. This HOA was my last shot at mattering at order." It could have ended ugly, felonies, jail time for harassing a judge. But Sarah, ever the wise one, offers mercy. "Resign now. Apologize in writing to everyone you've hurt. Refund every bogus fine. Over $10,000 total. Do 250 hours helping folks here, like yard work for the elderly, and get counseling. Break it, and charges stick." Linda nods, broken but maybe salvageable. And over months, she changes, delivering checks with real remorse, mowing lawns for the vet, shopping for the widow, finding purpose in service, not control, while our neighborhood blooms anew, rules fair, meetings fun, values soaring because folks actually connect now. In the end, watching Linda at a block party, laughing humbly over burgers, not ruling, just belonging, it's satisfying, like justice with a side of grace. But was it too soft? Should Sarah have thrown the book harder, made an example? What do you think? Drop a comment. Was mercy the right call? Or does a bully like that deserve the full hammer? Share your HOA horror stories or thoughts on community power gone wrong. Hit like if this hit home, subscribe for more real-life twists, and let's chat below. Your take could spark the next big debate.